So possibly one of the biggest complaints I hear from golfers is they really struggle, like they can't get through the golf shot. And they really feel that they stand over the golf ball, get into a pretty nice address position, make a swing. They really struggle with strike. Club speed's maybe not as quick as they want. And they really feel they don't get any accuracy. So the biggest difference I see between elite ball strikers and most of the golfers is where they manage to get at impact. And if I'm honest, it's something that actually most golfers do at setup that really, really hinders them. So I think most golfers will say that they appreciate address and impact are different. So address would be here, and impact, they're looking for that lead hip to be turned out the way, lead leg to be straightening, lots and lots of pressure into that lead foot. But unfortunately with a lot of golfers, what you tend to see is that at impact, there's much more pressure on the way back, not a lot of shaft lean, the hips are very static, it's all kind of hands and arms. So the big thing for most elite golfers is the first thing they do in the downswing is they manage to get lots of pressure into that lead foot, which then allows that leg to kind of straighten, which gets that lead hip turning out the way. But most golfers, me included, tend to have a little bit of a tight hip on our lead leg. And I'm going to get you to just do a little test with me. So I want you to stand on your lead foot. So obviously if you're a right-handed golfer, your left foot with your toe pointing straight in front. And I want you to just balance on your right toe. Pop the club across your hips and then feel like you turn out of the way. See how far you can turn, keeping your left foot flat on the floor. So you can see for me they're probably only about 30 degrees. If I try and turn any more, my foot really starts to roll. And that's because my internal rotation with my left hip is tight. So if you're one of those golfers, and comment below if you're not, because I reckon there won't be many of you can get that nice big turn keeping that foot flat on the floor. The big mistake golfers make is they tend to get that lead foot very much straight in front. So as they stand, the brain knows that they want to move onto that side, but the hip can't turn, so they start to slide towards the target. Now they realise they're going to mishit the golf ball, so then they back up, the hips are static, the hands release, and we either catch the ground first, struggle with club face control, or just cost us lots and lots of speed. So the first thing I want you to do is go back to that test again, is pop that foot there, but just turn that left foot out a tiny bit, and now try the same drill. See how much further I can turn my hips. And that's by opening that foot up, it allows more rotation. It's not improving my flexibility, but it's putting my foot and then my hip in a position where it can open up better through impact. So, first thing we're going to do is have a couple of practice swings. So for me, something I do quite naturally nowadays, and I probably turn mine out a little bit more than most golfers. But it really feels like my lower body is able to get onto that left side, hips can start to turn out the way, the leg straightens, it just feels much more powerful, and I find it much easier to get that low point ahead of the golf ball. So we're going to set up, turn that lead foot out, make my swing as normal. So we can see straight away there, clubhead speed picked up 4 miles an hour. The low point moved a little further forward. Club was from the inside, club face slightly closed, so there's my little draw. Maybe not full distance there at 148, but all of a sudden there, it just feels a completely different impact. And it's not one of those where I'm then suddenly stopping because this is restricting me. It allows a nice full rotation and gets my swing all the way through to a nice full finish. So again, we're going to set up, turn that lead foot out very slightly, and then make my swing. That felt even better than the previous one. So similar clubhead speed, low point nearly 3 inches ahead. Again, club slightly from the inside, face slightly closed to the path, solid strike, and 162 carry. Now, honestly, if you are somebody that has struggled getting through the ball, This is such an easy change just to address, and it is unbelievable what a difference it will make to your golf swing without you consciously trying to do anything different. Just putting your body in a position that it can then actually function how it wants. For anyone who's got that great mobility, they can have that foot a little squarer, but you hardly see any player in the world with that lead foot there. In fact, what you'll see is even if they do start a little bit more square, what will happen is they'll jump off the floor, the foot will move, or they'll be up on their heel, up on their toe to allow it to move. But because there's so much force going through their lead leg, pushing into the ground, that's how they get away with it. Unfortunately, you're probably one of those golfers who might not create the kind of force a tour player does. But if you can stand there, like I said, turn that lead foot out, put a good swing on it, you're going to hit lots and lots of quality golf shots and really stop having to work so hard on getting through the ball.